Last week on the Nicoletti Show.
I have a special guest, Rylus Dana. Welcome to the show on the road, man. Nice to meet you.
This baby boomer, that they're calling it the silver wave now, or maybe the silver tsunami, but a lot of the wealth is in that generation. I wanted to become an attorney to be in the business of law. My goal was always to improve the business. Our generation, we knew life before the internet. I feel like we're well suited to kind of bring the old world into the new.
There's a difference to me between, we do that, to I do
and they're
probate.
Also doing family law
and
criminal
this
law
and that. Yeah, because everybody can juggle 5 balls at once, for sure.
When someone on title is dead, right? That's basically when you start looking at probate. In Arizona, really, it just comes down to the fiduciary duty. Florida and Arizona are on the top of the list where people are going to, it seems like. So once someone passes away, even a revocable trust becomes irrevocable.
Taking a complicated subject and simplifying it, that makes it all the better.
If the trustee has discretion over principle of the trust, they can use that discretion to actually amend the trust. And then states like Arizona and California have clarified that you can do that.
Rylus, this is fantastic. I'm glad we got to do this in the office. This is Rylus's a studio here. This is amazing. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Wednesday night, 9 p.m., a little after 9. We're working on some things in the studio. There's so many things that happen when we're running a show. You just never know what's going on, but you always prepare and you do your best. So we're running through some of that stuff right now, but thank you all for watching, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, and all the platforms. We love that you're watching. If you want more content like this, make sure you go check out the Al Nicoletti YouTube channel, the Facebook page, and the personal page under Al Nicoletti, and the Instagram at Attorney Nicoletti. And you can find all the amazing guests that have been on the Al Nicoletti Show, which is on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. You can find all that stuff out there. And you can find all the quiet title, partition, crazy videos that are in the real estate world that we talk about all the time with things on the show and the guests talk about. So crazy stuff. You are all in for a treat tonight. I'm not sure why the Facebook stream is not up. We'll make sure we post that in the group or the personal page and the business page, but we'll make sure we put that link in there. So if you're seeing this on YouTube or wherever you're watching this, and you're all of a sudden on another platform, you'll see the link below. But you all are in for a treat with, I don't have just one superstar guest. I got 2. And I'm hoping Mark's audio and video is going to be good for this and it'll work, but we'll make sure that he's there. But I got Mark Kole and special guest, last minute, Jason Palliser, that's coming on the show, and it's going to be electric. Jason's going to talk so much about the benefits of the white label real estate marketplace and how amazing it can be in your business. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to dive in this. I got tons of stuff we're going to talk about. So let's rock this thing. It's Wednesday night. Let's go. Hey, everybody. My name is Al Nicoletti. I'm an attorney here in Florida, and welcome to the Al Nicoletti Show, where I bring on real estate super investors, rising rock stars, movers and shakers, and leaders of clubs in their community that educate, entertain, and inspire all things on Florida real estate, and bringing on incredible guests that are not just in Florida, but they are all over. People in Texas, New York, Ohio, all these other places in the U.S. and eventually international, on how you can take your company and your real estate business to the next level. On the show today, I got Mark Kole and Jason Palliser talking about a huge new system, an amazing system that's going to help so many people in the real estate world. We haven't had anybody talk about this. This is the first time we've had a discussion about a marketplace, right? I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what the virtual part of that even is going to be like. But they see the behind the scenes, the developments that are going on with this, and the connectivity and the power that comes behind such a thing, and bringing people all over, the networking experience behind it. Mark is he is brilliant, an amazing resource, and a super connector. I mean, he knows so many people when it comes to this marketplace and all the people that are in the real estate community. He brings a wealth of knowledge, and Jason's a powerhouse. This guy, like he knows how to throw on a live event. He knows how to bring workshops together, bring all these people that want to learn things that they wish they learned in either courses or seminars, and he packages it. I've seen some things get posted, and it's amazing. Jason, he's awesome. You're going to love him, and you're going to love Mark. So we're going to talk about some interesting things when it comes to the marketplace. Like, they're going to talk about the global real estate platform, the white label for each marketplace, and the ability to add unlimited members, post properties for sale, automated offers, built-in digital document signing, digital integration, live links to title companies to provide real-time updates. That's pretty cool. I can't wait to talk about that. Live link to the title company to provide real-time updates as to the status. Like, that's something that we all want to know. Like, I even want to know that for a probate, right? You know, I get the probate done. It's like, when's the closing happening? But really, on the show, we're going to focus on the details of the connectivity between all off-market buyers and sellers from around the world. And we're not just going to focus on the white label opportunity, but the opportunity in general on how this is going to connect off-market buyers and everybody all together on one marketplace. I don't know if you're excited. I know I'm excited to get into this. So without further ado, let's see if the link works. But without further ado, Jason, Mark, let's do this thing. I love you guys on. What's happening?
How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're doing better. The visuals shaky, but I think we can. If you stand still, we'll be good, and we can hear you.
Well, thanks for having me on again. I know we had a little audio trouble when we were getting started. Hopefully this works. I'm really excited to be on your show. I met you at the Heroes event. Your big smile and your personality, and to watch everybody just come over, and you just kind of knowing everybody in that. What a great crowd of people, and I was just it was just amazing to be around those people, and all the people, kind of movers and shakers of the entire guru thing. And so for me, it was a really great experience to get out and really understand who are the movers and shakers, who are the market makers, who are teaching people buy and sell property, and how to find property, and all these things that don't know. And I think these gurus and seminar groups, and they just have such. As a software developer, it was just incredible to just to see people in the same room. I think it was over 100, maybe 200 people, and folks have 20,000, 40,000 people that follow, that take their advice, and I look around a room like that and just realize that I'm standing in front of influences, maybe a million investors and that kind of thing. So anyway, and Jason is a great part of what we're doing, tapping all the talent in our industry as we build out this that we've put together as a standard. As a person, have a few options on how to get your properties out in front of all across the country, around the world, whatever. But as a off-market sailor, investor, flipper, home remodeler, the same opportunities. And I started flipping some homes, and I very quickly that as I started wholesaling some properties, that it was very difficult to kind of find the properties, and it's amazing because I live in Sarasota, Florida. A lot of folks in my area, but I wasn't connected to anybody. To Tim Mai's event at the Hero event, I realized that people in Tampa and Jason right there in St. Pete Beach, that I decided I would venture out and really try to get together with people. So it was really, really, and just to meet one after another coaching group that just had so much knowledge, so much experience in the business, that as I leaned on people like John Alexander. John Alexander and I, I'm the granddaddy of them all. I mean, I don't know the industry super well, but I know he's definitely an land mogul. Is that it? Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
John Alexander right there on the shelf.
And then Jason Palliser, who's sitting here today. These folks have, and when we build a software application, what we're really trying to do is, how do we build a better mousetrap? How do we build something that's going to may or may not have a lot of knowledge about the industry, and how do we really help them huge strides? How do we help them? We really were focused on disposition of properties, because tools out there, Jason being one of them, where you can learn how to, and I mean, Jason does the full gamut, but where you can find I think a lot of people find properties. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, is it okay to interject, Al, Mark,
Absolutely.
or whatever?
Go for it.
Okay, so we're here to talk about it, and Al's going to start hitting us with questions so that we can educate everybody. But what Mark has put time and effort into, because I know his audio is coming in a little bit choppy, is that we sat down to solve a problem. And one of those problems is that, hey, everybody out there that's hustling to get an off-market opportunity, the ones that you don't keep, that maybe you just want to sell to somebody else, how do we get in front of a mass global marketplace and get in front of other people? And so what we did was start to try and solve some of those logistics, and just kind of trying to lay a foundation and base here for everybody, is that, hey, you know what? Why not create a marketplace to where you don't even have to leave your couch, right? Create a marketplace to where you can put your opportunity out there and reach a mass audience that you couldn't reach before. So imagine a world where now, literally from your phone or your computer, we can put right in front of you a marketplace that you can put your properties on that you're trying to unload, and get in front of a much larger marketplace, like people from overseas that want to pay, where you think you're going to sell a property and make 30 grand. What if all of a sudden, without you even leaving your couch, you can be in front of somebody that's going to pay 50 grand for that particular contract that you worked hard to get? And where we started to try and solve those things is this: create a software that puts those people together, number one. And number two, can we make this a conveyor belt? So when somebody says, hey, Al, you know what, that property that you just put on our platform, I'm very interested in it, right? So, hey, that property on the platform, I'm interested in that property, Al. Now we can put you together with them. And we're all of a sudden, where people might start to get heartburn, we reverse engineered and look to solve it. So imagine a world where I say, Al, I want your property because I'm a part of the network as well. And you and I never would have got an opportunity to talk to each other. And now all of a sudden your contract's worth more money. So you're happy. I'm happy because I found a property that you put on the platform that I wouldn't have found. And then we've also solved it by integrating with it instantly when two parties agree that it's already off to the title company. So I'm a logistics guy, right? So imagine a world where as soon as we both agree and we meet each other, and I want the property that you're selling, and now we're connected to each other as soon as we accept that. Now it's on a conveyor belt going to closing. All those moving parts are like, okay, I need to get this to title company. I need to do this. I need to do that. All those things are handled all the way down to docu-signing documents back and forth. And so it's going to be a global marketplace, basically a global marketplace for everything off market, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So let's definitely back up on a lot of this, because you guys are down in the weeds. It's like you guys are doing this day in, day out. You're roll it out, like ready to do this. Mark, I know you are super pumped. Like I love getting on the phone with you, and it's like you know exactly where this is going. And I love the fact that Jason's on board too with everything. So let's start from how this all even got started. Like what made this all kind of roll? I love starting from the inception because I think this stuff's fascinating. I don't know anything about it. And I'm sure there's people that are totally intrigued by it. Start from like, how did this even come up? What were you seeing? Where were the gaps? And then also then the development behind it, like really ramping it up until like, Mark, we're at Hero, you, me, and Jason, we're at Hero, and Mark's like, we're ready to roll this thing out. Like, how did it all of a sudden roll out to that point?
Well, it started, my father was in real developer from Chicago, and he had purchased hundreds, if not thousands of building lots, Florida area. It's called Port Charlotte, Northport, Punta Gorda. And during childhood, or as kind of as a young man, I was asked by my dad to go out and check these lots. So I got, where they were, what they are, that kind of thing, and never thought fast forward I would be in the business I'm in today. But I have a very, at one point I moved my family. We had sold our first software company, kind of large property with horses, and our daughter, my wife, very much animal lovers. And as of today, my daughter is a veterinarian. Her name is Alexis Kole. Shout out, she's listening. But because I live down in that area, I got to know a lot of people. I love talking and interacting with people, and I met different people who owned big tranches of them there, and we had a lot of fun flipping properties and doing things. But I came to a few bigger players that owned vacant lots down there, and from a little bit of time here, I met a gentleman named Mark Miller from. He was a building for build. He does what's called build to rent. So he's building, and he comes down into Florida and Atlanta, Georgia, and different areas. Well, he was in a guy that I met socially, and if I knew the area down in Port Charlotte, and did I know where he could buy some building lots, and I saw.
Oh, he got cut out.
Or sorry, he was looking for building lots, and so I connected him up on some building lots, and it was really kind of the start of my journey to figure out this puzzle kind of thing, especially with building lots and properties. So as a result of this guy looking for building lots, and then me being able to deliver all the lots he could buy, he started passing my name around. And so I got a phone call from some of the guys from auction.com, and they said, hey, we have a couple clients that are big builders. We're looking for a lot of lots. And I said, gee, I could probably get you more lots than you could buy. Of course, I don't know. At the point, I was, very naive, and I didn't realize that these Wall Street folks are putting builders out there. They're looking for 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 lots. And they said to me, well, I said, I can get you more lots than you can handle. They said, well, we're looking for, 10,000 lots. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I can do that. But, so it's really kind of funny. But I started reaching out to all my wholesalers and friends and people that I knew that had properties. And quite a few people had, 100, 200, 500 or whatever. And I realized, when they sent me their list, some of the people sent me a list that was like very professional, it was on an Excel spreadsheet. And most of the others, I had one guy was texting me like 1 o'clock in the morning because he's a night owl. And he starts texting me like 50 to 80 lot addresses. And my wife is wondering, who in the world is texting you, bombing you at, 1, 2, 3 in the morning? What's going on here? And so I said, this guy is really awesome, but he's, some people are just in different modes of work. And so that was also an introduction to the fact that, while I work what I consider a normal schedule, 9 to 5 or 6 to 5 or 7 o'clock, there are a lot of people work evenings and they got weird hours and things. And that also played into the development of the software. So my whole entire experience was nobody really had a set place to kind of pull their inventory. And I stumbled across a friend who said, I know a lady, she's from Colombia. They live in Miami. I could connect you with her, and she has over 9,000 lots that she will probably work a deal with you to sell or to do, make a deal for me to buy them and then flip them. So as I got to know these folks, I said, gee, I have a client, a friend, and they are interested in purchasing some lots, and I'd like to buy them from you, and then I'll resell them to these folks. And they said, okay, that sounds really great. Could you give us like a month or two so we could put together a list? And I went, oh my gosh, as like a software data guy, just building a Medicare system, which operates in most hospitals today. I realized, oh my gosh, what do you mean? You have $100 million in properties, and you got to go to each county to look up if your name's on the record or not. I mean, geez, it seems like they don't really have the right. They don't have the data. They don't have. There's no one tracking their inventory. So I decided that at that moment, like, wow, I should put together a really small database to kind of help these people out, and maybe I could sell it to them, but mostly for my own benefit, because as I worked through those lists and converted things that were written on napkins and papers and so on and so forth, my wife came in and said, oh my gosh, you're spending so much time converting people's data onto we're putting it in a kind of the same format. Why don't you write a software program, and why don't you let them log in from the internet and just put it on there? And I said, wow, that's a great idea. She said, that way you're giving them kind of a form format. And then I said, that sounds really good. And so I decided I would start building something, and I came up with kind of a first version of that. And I realized that, this could be something really great, because most of the that I was dealing with, they would send me a list, whether it's a spreadsheet or handwritten or whatever. And they, it was just really interesting to see that if you organize the data, and we put it on a live interactive database, that as those properties got sold, the owner of those properties could go in and just delete them as they sold them, so that I would always know what was fresh and new, because I'm trying to be middleman here and try to pass these things along. And some of my clients that were asking me, hey, I'll buy lots from you if you can find them, they were really taking like a week or two to make a decision on the lots. And by the time I would then go back to my original people selling, they would then have to do research, whether they sold them, they didn't sell them, they didn't know. So I decided I would create this kind of a very much like an MLS kind of thing. And I know that's, we're not copying them or anything like that. We are really creating a kind of a master database, if you will, of properties that people from all different groups can put their inventory on. I even allow them to manage it. I wanted to make this free. I wanted to make this so that, because I've always been a small business guy, and I've always said, sometimes I see stuff and I'm like, geez, I can't afford to, maybe buy the software. Maybe I can afford it, but do I want to spend the $39 or sign up for it? And I just didn't know, would it really be worth it to me? And I decided that, after watching these two young guys that started a company called Stripe, which is a payment gateway system, they're worth $20 billion 8 years later. $20 billion. Let that sink in just for a second. Two guys, college students, two brothers, programmers, and they don't make money by charging you every time, monthly for the software. They were making their money on a transactional basis. So I said, geez, if I provide a service, not so much, I don't care about linking people up. I mean, I love that is the main part of the technology, but really where we make our money is not from brokering or commissions, or, I mean, that's not what we do. We are a technology company, and where we really make our money is by we have built the ability to automate the transaction. So let's just say, as an example, Jason is selling a property, and Al, you're buying a property. If Jason posts it on the platform and you see the property, you can make an offer on the property and you can digitally sign. We send a contract. We have it automated, so it sends the contract appropriate for if you're in Florida or the property's in Georgia or Tennessee or Kentucky or California, wherever. And so we automate that process. And if Jason is sitting out having a pina colada because he's a super, super successful guy, and I know that for a fact. I'm very impressed with Jason, and I know that he really enjoys life, and he really is a great guy. And this guy is just spends his life helping people, and I mean, this guy's really dedicated to doing great things. And so when I think about Jason sitting, he doesn't want to run back to a computer. He doesn't want somebody calling him saying, "Hey, you got that property for sale?" And they ask him 500 questions and, run him through the ringer. And now 50 people a day call and they ask him all these crazy questions. Jason's kind of the guy, like most people, "Hey, if you want to buy my property, give me a contract. Send me a contract with a deposit, and then I'll consider what you're doing." Because I think people get jaded in the business because you get a lot of tire kickers and you get a lot of people asking dumb questions, or, what for somebody who's very experienced, it might be a dumb question, but still, like, everyone's got a lot of questions. So I said to myself, most sellers that I spoke to, they don't care about all the conversation. They just say, "Hey, you want to buy my property? I don't care. You don't like the price, don't buy it. Give me a really good offer, something close to it, submit it to me." So what I've done with my software, going back to my example, is that Jason's selling it, you're buying it, you put the offer in, Jason's sitting having a pina colada out on the beach. He looks, he gets an alert, "Congratulations, you have an offer on 105 Main Street." Jason says, he looks at it, he reads, skims through the contract. "Oh, this looks like a good offer." He can either accept it and digitally sign it with his finger, or Jason can hit reject and say, "No, that's a lowball offer. Forget it. I'm not, I don't want anything to do with that." So that's basically how the process works. Now, if he doesn't, right, let me just finish this part, and then I'll let you ask your question. Because what's really important here is that when Jason, as the seller, digitally signs and accepts the offer, it is automatically digitally transferred directly into the workflow of the CRM system of the national title company. It passes along the signed contract by both parties. We don't use DocuSign. We have our own built-in version. So everything we've built it ourselves. And when that shows up at the title company, it's got copies of his corporate documents that he's preloaded. He preloaded when he was selling it. "Hey, I own this as XYZ LLC." And he puts his corporate documents in. What we really are focused on is we gather a little bit more information when somebody's selling and when somebody's buying, because we're integrating that whole entire, digital process to the title company. So they don't even really have to call you. They might call you to verify a few things, but we gather all the vesting information. How do you own the property? When we ask all these questions, and we try to make it really nice, like a multiple choice kind of question. So we're patent pending right now. Even the attorney in Miami, when he searched it, he couldn't believe that there was no patent on it. But as you find out in this business, that I think real estate is like the number one industry as far as size and growth, as trillions of dollars, whatever. And yet it's the last part of the business to get technology. I mean, it's really bizarre to me that there's not tons of portfolio management and marketplaces. And the last thing I'll say about the whole, kind of process before I give you back the mic here is that, when I was a young guy and I looked for a haircut, or I wanted to buy a lawnmower or whatever, you went to the phone book. And now the internet, as powerful as it is, has really fragmented this market. I mean, it has really, think about it for a minute. You could go on the web and you could look up, activities in Sarasota, Florida, and you probably get like 10,000 hits. And it's just bananas, because when I was, young, newly married, we would look in the newspaper to see kind of what we were going to do for the weekend, what shows, what events, Anyway, so that's it. So back to you.
Yeah, and Jason, I'll definitely let you roll with some comments there. But you know what I'm hearing with this whole platform, the marketplace, is how streamlined and fast these transactions can happen. Like, you know, Jason's to the point, straight shooter. He's like, "Hey, show me a contract, show me a deposit. You know, let's get this going." And I feel like in our world with no marketplace, some of those things just take a little bit longer. People want to either go see the property or maybe it's sight unseen, but you know they're kind of debating on what the market price really is. Here, I feel like there's the potential for even more serious buyers to come in, and the fact that you can do the digital sign and you can do wire transfer, right? You could do all the whole thing in one and then shift that over to title.
I am not hearing
you. No, I mean it just sounds like just such a streamlined, faster process than transactions today. And you know, Mark, like what we were talking about, I don't know if you can hear me, Jason, but like one thing that Mark and I were talking about backstage a couple days ago was the fact that he's right. In real estate, there are not a lot of software platforms. I mean, you got CRMs that are out there, HiveMind, REI Sift, Investor Fuse. I mean, you have a lot of these programs that help a lot of the investors cycle through leads or cycle through warm leads, cold leads, all that stuff, you know. But like, you don't have something like this. We're putting everybody in like almost a virtual world of, hey, we can do this transaction right now. And I think that's super powerful with the world we live in, but also the connectivity of people being, I mean, you're where you are, but imagine somebody in Washington, right? So that's super powerful. Go for it. Tell me your thoughts on it.
Yeah. So to springboard off of what you're saying, imagine that you're connected now in a platform to where, again, I'll kind of circle back a little bit, but you're connected to buyers that you never would have been connected to. And some of these buyers that you're now connected to, like you worked hard on your end to run the front end of your business to get the opportunities, right? And but now you're instantly connected with people that are insatiable buyers. Like these people are ready to go. They'll click a button. They already have money in escrow at the title company for all the deals that they're doing. So you're intrinsically connected to those. And as I said before, now all of a sudden, your transactions become easier. The flow becomes easier to it. Everything's buttoned up. It's streamlined. So now you can close deals faster. And then on the flip side of that, let's flip the script a little bit. Maybe you're looking for property because it's going to be a central repository for all things off market, whether it's lots, commercial, you name it, farmland, this and that, residential. You have access to all that now, and now all of a sudden you could start putting people together. What, as an example, what if you're on the platform and you've put in your preferences, and now all of a sudden you just wake up to 4 or 5 property that might suit your needs. If they don't suit your needs, you're staring at them. You know somebody else that it suits their needs, and now all of a sudden you can start working deals, and the flow back and forth, and everything is streamlined. Once 2 parties agree, then it's on a conveyor belt. It's just flowing straight to closing. So we're solving a lot of the things that are moving parts and logistics. And I think we talked a little bit at the real estate gathering we were at, but I do logistics outside of real estate. So people like, I do stuff in the healthcare space to solve medical claim issues because there's tons of errors and this and that. And so how do we streamline things? I'm a logistics guy, right? When I get hired to, average 40 or 50 homes a month by a large company and beat everyone to off market, that's what I do, right? But now all of a sudden, we're going to have a central place for everybody to go create their avatar of who they are, what they're looking for, and now they can put their properties on there. They can find properties, and all those little details that usually slow things down are removed from that process. Like imagine a world where Al, you see one of my properties, you're like, I want it. And with a click of a button, you sign. I say, oh, okay, Al wants it at a price I want it. And it's already at the title company. Like literally on both of our ends, it's already at the title company and we're already working it. So other integrations that are coming into the platform, which we can talk about more, are that we're also going to have funding. So imagine a world like some of these places, if you're just unloading a property, they want to see that Al funds it himself before he sells it 1 minute later to somebody else. So we're working with large players to have funding available. So part of that conveyor belt where people get stressed out. Wow, I think I have a deal. I think Jason and I have a deal. Oh, wait, the title company wants you to actually fund it for 1 second. We're going to have those options in there. So what that does is this: it makes sure that the deal closes, make sure that it's part of the process. You click a button. Yeah, I'd like funding. What's it look like to me? And now it goes. Now, as a business owner, you're on to the next transaction. You're looking at more properties. You're adding more properties. It frees you up to run your business a lot better. And we're gonna and again, imagine being connected to people that live overseas that want property that you never would have met.
Absolutely. I mean, think about the opportunity, whether domestic or international. I mean, if you want to buy something in Costa Rica and connect with somebody over there instantly, right? And it's the power of the streamlined, efficiently fast system. And I was just thinking, I'm sure you guys have this in the whole program. Like, imagine the title company says they need the funding, but the person that wants to buy doesn't have that funding immediately, and they may almost they could probably do like a red flag thing, and that puts people out there that says, hey, we're looking for funding. And then that'll connect somebody, say, hey, we'll provide that funding. Here are the terms and everything. Right. So it's that let's put this out here just in case somebody can help that situation, but we're all connected super fast, super quick. And like you said, the title company thing, like getting it over to title. I mean, you and I both know that that's like the game changer, right? Because if we can go under contract all day, buy, sell, but then all of a sudden the title's messed up, and now we don't have to wait like a whole 2 weeks for this. They can immediately start everything. It's amazing, right? Mark had mentioned some of these things, like the automated offer and acceptance workflow. That's huge. That's the built-in, the automated contracting tool for the standard purchase agreements and assignment agreements. Right.
Correct.
Not just going under contract, but the ability to do the assignments as well. All of that is major for whether you're wholesaling, you're the end buyer, whatever you're doing. What are some of the other, I think this is fascinating, right? Like, this is not something we've talked about on the show before. What are some of the other integration tools that normally we would think about, but like when we're sitting down going, what are some of those things that we could use in that transaction? What are you guys putting together that's like, oh, that's a game changer. That's a game changer that we could use. What are those things?
Well, imagine having a world where not only can you put your property on there to connect the world to you, and again, now all of a sudden every contract you write might be more valuable because we have buyers that'll pay more, quite frankly. So the normal effort you put on the marketplace, now they're worth more. That's one thing. But imagine having a software in place that has almost every conceivable document that's associated with that transaction. Whether a quitclaim deed to remove somebody is needed, we can have that stuff integrated. So all the things that are associated with getting a deal to the finish line, we'll have in place. And again, it's already connected to a national title company that can help and step in on any of those endeavors. But imagine a world where inside the software, as you're going through, it's almost like pretend it's like DoorDash. We're like, hey, you're getting this. We see that you're going, oh, but would you like this? Or do you need this? Or do you need that? Do you need this? So literally, I need funding. Click, yes, I need that. So it's almost like, hey, what do you need? What are you hungry for this evening? Well, I'm hungry for funding because I don't have that. Click. Okay, boom. Hey, we verify that we got the funds ready to go. Now that doesn't slow you down. Again, as the business owner, that frees you up to move faster, to grab more deals, to make more money, because this whole process, the normal flow of closing deals, and again, getting hired to average 40 or 50 homes a month, like I have to have things buttoned up. So imagine a world where now all of a sudden with the click of a button, and Mark and I had conversations about this. For those of you who see this, for those of you listening, there are things that'll mess up your transaction. There are things that are innocent. And if you've been doing it for any sort of time, you miss innocent things. I do. I'm human. I miss things every once in a while. But imagine having all those choices in front of you, like, oh God, I would have forgot about that. Click, yes, I need that. Or no, this isn't a part of my transaction, which makes both parties intrinsically aware that this, hey, no, it doesn't have this. Yes, this is available. No, this isn't available. Hey, I need funding. Funding's verified. None of that stuff slows you down anymore. But all of those things that are innocent that you would miss, we'll have as an option. Does it need this? Does it need that? Is there a seller disclosure? No seller disclosure. Right, right. All of those things associated with getting a deal to the finish line, all the way down to almost every document that you would need, and then working directly with the title company. And the cool part is when you work with somebody that you wouldn't have, where a deal may have fallen apart, but now it doesn't. Once you've accepted, now you know each other, and you can close a lot more deals together. You know that's a bona fide buyer. What if now all of a sudden on the platform, this person ends up buying 40 properties from you?
Yeah. Yeah. And not just one, but more. And then you see all the other people that they're connected with, maybe in their group, that have things that are interesting. Maybe that their friends have commercial property. You're interested in commercial stuff. So you're going to have everything across the board. And I think what's fascinating is the indicators, right? Funding, or you need this or that or this. I even see it as like, these other players that do loans and bring money to the table can be a part of that marketplace, just for the purpose of having the opportunity to be a part of that transaction, not even just buying or selling. I see Mark. Yeah, I know you agree with that. Not even just buying or selling, people being a part of the marketplace just to be in the position and opportunity to provide those services when is needed. That provides an amazing network experience for everybody. Oh, we can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear you. So I'll chime in. So agree with you. And now let's take it a step further. Everyone's welcome to be on the platform. And if you have a large audience or following, we will also, and again, you'll work with the people in our office. And if you feel like you take a note here as you're listening, if you think you fall into this category, we'll have the conversation with you. Everyone's welcome to be on the platform and close deals back and forth together. If you have a large following, we will also on the platform have you register yourself, and then all the other people that you work with. Let's say you have 1,000 people that you work with or that you've trained and that are following you in real estate. You can let them know about the platform. They can sign up so they can see properties, sell their properties, find properties back and forth, but they'll be under your label. So you could Al, yourself, you could invite people to the platform because you have a large audience, and all of those people can be on the platform. Every time they log in to look for property, buy, sell properties, it's branding you. So everybody listening here, imagine that you start funneling people in because you have a big following, and we have you set up what we call a white label marketplace. The platform doesn't change, and we don't. It doesn't have to be Mark's face, my face, our logo. It has nothing to do with us, right? And but everybody that logs in looking and find, let's say somebody finds 6 properties and it's under the Al Nicoletti white label brand, right? That builds up your credibility in the marketplace. And so we're also going to do that. If you feel as if you fall into that space, when you reach out to us, we may be able to build that white label for you. And here's the fun part. Let's say you put 1,000 people in, Al, and 200 or 300 of them start finding properties and selling properties and doing transactions. We will give you a small part of that transaction, right?
Interesting.
So it could be another income stream, and that really grows under your platform if you fall into that type of category. And every time the people log in that you've referred, Al, all they do is see you and your branding, and they see, wow, all these wow, there's 8,000 properties, and all they see is properties and Al, properties and Al, right? So it builds your brand, builds your credibility, and we're looking to help people grow in that sense as well.
No, that's really interesting too, right? First of all, almost the incentive to get everybody in, but at the same time, it almost exponentially builds the marketplace to build connectivity with everybody, off market buyers everywhere faster. And again, I know Mark and Mark, you can hear me, right? You're not, yeah, he can hear me. So like when Mark and I were talking the other night, it's amazing like how many people this can grow out to be, and the fact that it's not a name to it. It's not, any specific, it's like, your brand or your marketplace. And it's just like a really wide open space for everybody to be in. It's not like any specific label to it. So that's what I think was fascinating talking to Mark about it the other night. And Mark, I mean, we talked about this too, the importance. I mean, I don't know when you two first met. I'm sure it's got to be way before Hero, but like, you got two major people on the screen right now with Mark and Jason, huge names in the real estate industry, super well connected, and connecting together on this platform just shows the power of networking and relationship building in what we're all in real estate, but we're all in business, right? And that's power, because let's just say maybe for the first time, somebody connects with somebody online on the marketplace, and that doesn't just lead to more deals and 9,000 property buys, but that leads to the formation of a new business, of a new software, of a new integration, or maybe they want to partner with Jason and Mark when it comes to this stuff. So I think all of this stuff when it comes to the marketplace keeps getting even more interesting every time I talk to you guys about it.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I'm excited about it. Like imagine just waking and I kind of also know liken it to like once you're on the platform and you're getting access to all the property and all the off-market property more than what your lead generation that you're doing individually for your business to get some opportunities. What if you wake up in your marketplace to an extra 400 opportunities? Right?
Yeah.
You could view it like you're on the platform. What if now in your normal day-to-day business, you're out talking to other investors and other people, seeing what they want, seeing how you can collaborate and do some deals together. And now in casual conversation, you have your little cheat sheet access on your phone. Yeah, man, I'm looking for XYZ and XYZ zip code. You just go on the platform. You're like, yeah, I got 32 properties that we could talk about. Like all of a sudden, I feel like it's you have a superpower connected in your phone in your pocket, right? If you have access to all these properties and you're on the platform, and now in casual conversation in your normal day-to-day business where you're talking to other investors around town, seeing what they're doing, you're helping them, they're helping you in whatever capacity. But now you always have a resource with a click of a button to see if there's 20 property available right now based upon that conversation, 200 properties, 300 properties, 100 properties, and with a click of a button, it's already at the title company. That just explodes your credibility in the marketplace. And all you did was connect to an off-market repository for all these properties.
Is there going to be like ratings also when it comes to the people that are in the marketplace? Kind of like almost
we had talked about that, about being a bona fide, like here, like since I'm a hardcore deal closer, right? And Mark and I were talking about this. I'm like, hey, there needs to be a button, like everybody that's on the platform, like if you said, hey Jason, I want your property. I'd like to know on your end, because when the buyers get onto the platform, we're going to have you verify a few things. So like when you say you want it, there'll be some sort of button or designation like where I know you're a bona fide buyer, right?
Right.
There's a difference between being a bona fide buyer and the comfort level that would give you if you're working with somebody that's a bona fide buyer versus somebody that might be a tire kicker, right?
Right.
So we're talking about integrating that, giving some sort of scoring system or whatever. Like we're going to make you work extra hard to get your designation though.
Yeah, I could just see like the power behind that. Cause let's just say there's some random person that submits their offer to you to buy, and it's like, an amazing price, but they got no reviews, or they got one review. You don't really know what's going to happen. And you're not the type that wants to deal with they want to change their mind. But then you got somebody else to say, I want to buy the property, but I got like 10
Absolutely.
5 stars. And it like specifically says a review from Mark Kole, a review from, somebody out there that's been doing.
We were talking. Yeah. So we were talking about that. So these are things that we had talked about and we're kicking around. So I know we can't hear Mark, but he can hear it. So we had already had these conversations. So Al, to take it one step further, again, we were talking about giving people a designation. Hey, having to show proof of funds and stuff like that, so you're dealing with a bona fide buyer, and you're not just like you said, you're not dealing with somebody that's a tire kicker. So we want to make that abundantly clear and give people designations for that, so that that the transaction, there's nothing going to go wrong with the transaction based upon whether or not they can close on it or not. Right.
Yeah.
And with 26 years on the banking side, that's how I started my speaking career with the Kiyosaki and a few of the TV shows, is they hired me for my funding expertise. We've had very specific conversations about how we're gonna verify the end buyers. Right.
Yeah, I could see that being super important. And Mark was dropping in the chat box, dependability rating.
Correct.
Right. That's the whole idea. I think that's a great idea. And just so everybody knows, what Jason and Mark have put together, this whole platform is going to be, it's going to explode. But a lot of people see so much potential behind this because of all this connectivity power that's going on, and how this is going to change a lot of the ways that deals are happening. And there's a lot of big people that are a part of this already, a lot of big names in the real estate industry that are in this. And I know Mark is super excited. We can't get into some of the things that are happening, but all I could say is big things are coming, right, guys? Big things are coming. Big players in the industry that I'm sure you all know, but this is huge. And definitely want to check it out. Jason, while we're kind of transitioning into some other stuff, where can people definitely find out more about this?
They can just go to the propertysource.app. And Mark, you can put in the chat too if there's another place for you to go, but you can go straight there to learn more about it.
Yeah, he also dropped buy box feature automatically finds for you.
Yeah, so that's the other thing that we discussed as well, is that bona fide buyers, like a buy box on their end, like imagine this. So Al, you put a property out there, and let's say there's 30 people looking at it through the app, right? If we have somebody that's a bona fide buyer, verified everything, blah blah blah, funds its title company, and there's a little buy box feature, buy it now feature. So as an example, so you don't have to go back and forth. And essentially, if I put it, it's my property, Al, and I put it on there, hey, if somebody wants to buy it at this and they're bona fide verified, then it's a buy now box, no haggling back and forth with 30 people. It's you clicked it because you did the work, Al, to verify, look, I'm a bona fide buyer. Here's my proof of funds, and it's not some weak proof of funds letter that you can get off the internet, because again, that's my expertise. I can sniff that out a mile away. So you're bona fide. So because of that, on the platform, you have the option to buy it without having to bid against 30 other people.
Amazing. It gives you that opportunity, and like right then and there, you're already ahead of the pack, right? That's the whole idea. You want to be in the front, and you want to be able to get that opportunity, and you build that, but you got to have the right stuff. You got to work with the right people that know what that package looks like.
And on my end, I'm the seller, right? Doesn't that make, like, if I know that you're a bona fide buyer and you hit the buy it now box, so I already know that you're verified, hardcore, and I already know it's at the title company, like literally I can just go on with the rest of my day.
Yeah, blue check mark. Right? Having that blue check mark right there. I could also see another feature that would, this gets a little deeper. I know Mark's enjoying this right now. I could see another feature with like the title company and how many times titles come back maybe with that particular buyer or seller. And there's always either problems or kind of like maybe like a close rate indicator, not necessarily a contract, like a dependability thing. But you know how so many investors run through distressed properties, but some of them are like really like bad, like super liens and crazy things. I could also see that being a rating of, maybe the type, maybe they lean more to distressed or lean more to clean close or something. I don't know, just indicators like that. Help marketplace.
Yeah, I would say to make it simpler, on-time closings, like, because that the proof's in the pudding then, right? If all of a sudden somebody closes 10 transactions through the platform and none of them ever close on time, well then you're gonna know that intrinsically, right? But if on the flip side of that, if somebody closes on time every single time, then it's, hey, closes on time every time, they're they're a 99% rating or something like that. So those are things that we're going to consider and put in there, just so that makes it easier for everybody. The whole goal here is to make it easy to do transactions back and forth and connect to people. Like I said, imagine Al selling a property to a guy in Dubai that you never would have met, and now that you've closed a transaction with them and everybody's comfortable, and now you're connected, because as soon as you get an accepted contract, we connect you with those people, and now they say, hey, I want 50 more.
Yeah, huge. I mean, you get to get in the whole portfolio, and there may be even more. And you never know, because of the dependability, they may be able to package it at a different price than if they didn't know you or they didn't have that relationship, right? So I could see that. Yeah, Mark, you know where this is going too. So Jason, huge stuff with that. The other thing that I really thought was interesting, and I've only seen this once. Shout out to David Olds. I saw this one time, which is the live link to the title company to provide real-time updates as to the status of the title company. I mean, I even want that. I want that right now. Mark,
I want that on properties I don't even have under contract. That makes me feel so good.
Yeah, you want to know, like, what are you doing over there? Like, what's going on? And that's huge. I mean, why? I don't want to have keep calling or have my assistant keep calling and finding out. I just want to look online. They're working on the funding. Oh, they're working on the HUD. They're getting this done. They're figuring out lien reduction or payoff.
Tax amount verified. Like, what are the taxes owed on it, right? So all those things, yeah.
Yeah, huge. And I was just thinking of another indicator. Each buyer or seller, whoever agrees on the title company, I could also see like a title company thing that goes down, who they close with, like each time. I could see that. But that live link to an update is a game changer for the marketplace, because I mean, I can tell you so many times Jason, you know how many probates I got going on. You can only imagine when I get them done in like a month, 4 weeks, 3 weeks. And then I'm like, what's going on with the closing? Where are you guys at? We all want to know. So, talk to us more about this.
Yeah, I always tell everybody this. I mean, just based upon the conversation we're having, where do deals go to die? Title, right? And so that's where you're an expert, and you're a resource, and you're a valuable resource to the marketplace, right? So we're building that into the software and platform that you can have direct access to the title company, so we know real time what we need to work on, because deals actually end up closing if you know real time what needs to be worked on. If you don't, and like you said, you're constantly in a state of chasing down, hey, what's next on title? If we can resolve that stuff, then guess what? Transactions close smoother, easier, faster, on time, and everybody knows real time what needs to be worked on. It's don't get me going. It's one of my biggest pet peeves of all time. I tell everybody, I'm like, if I go, a closer at a title company may be working on in a calendar month 40 files. They want all 40 to close. Yours might be one of them, Al. And there's 4 things they're working on that need to be cleared up to get that thing to the finish line. And they're going to work on it, right? But they have 40 files. If Al only has 2 deals that he's trying to get to the finish line this month, and each of them are going to make them 30 grand. It's more important to Al to know real time if there's something on title that the title person's working on, that they might only get to it once out of every 40 that they're working on. But if you've got 2, you want to know real time, because you'll step in and you'll go get a payoff yourself. You'll go do this yourself, right? Well, that's what knowing what things are real time. And so we take pride in the fact that we're going to be working with national title companies that can give you real-time access to them, so those deals don't fall apart just because nobody knows what's going on. Like, that's my personal pet peeve.
Interesting. Hey, I'm with you on that. I want to know what's going on too. And like you said, sometimes investors are not just going after quantity, but they're going after quality, and they may only have a couple leads that are huge spreads. And, they don't want to keep following up, but what do? They do follow up, and they want to know what's going on, what's happening. But I can tell you, how many times I see that too with the amount of probates, like what is going on. This is an invaluable resource to the whole thing. I mean, it's like instantaneous contract, wire, transactional funding, title telling you. So are there even going to be, this is interesting too. Are there going to even be like title notes in a way? So like, let's say title comes back and it's like a messy deal. Are the notes almost going to be logged on to that specific property? So if another potential buyer comes along, they're almost put on notice about this is what came back at one title company.
So we're talking about, we're actually going through talking about those things, working through that. Don't know how real time that is or how extensive that would be, and what's involved. But in our perfect world, yes, those are the things that we want to make available. And again, if you've been doing it for any amount of time, everybody that sees this or is listening now, if you've been doing this for any amount of time, I know that your deals have fallen apart before at the title company. And so we just want to connect you instantly with accepted contract, boom, title's working on it, and give you real-time access to them so that it can give you a level of comfort that, wow, I'm going to know real time if I need to step in and get my hands dirty and work on something to get this to the finish line. Like we want you to be married to the title team, because I always tell everybody, thousands of transactions deep, and then doing it for large companies to do 40, 50 homes a month. Title's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Title's the most important. I don't see deals closed without title involved. I'm like, so I like every time I do a 2-day blueprint training and set up the attacks 34 ways in the city for individual investors. I always tell everybody when we get to that part of the flow of getting things to the finish line, I'm like, I've never seen a deal close without title. There's been a few where they take a gamble, right? Hey, let's just close it without getting title insurance. Okay, well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But 99% of the time you get title. So if 99% of the time something happens on the transaction you do, then you better be best friends with that part of the transaction. And so again, like I said, last time I'll say it, personal pet peeve. If you're not all over title and best friends with them and making sure that they know how important it is for you to know real time what's going on, then when the deal falls apart, look in the mirror.
And that's micro content right there. We're going to make sure we put that out everywhere because it's huge. It's huge value for everybody that's watching. Is going to watch this later. Jason has an amazing point. I mean, we're going to plug your whole 2-day blueprint too. Don't worry. And Jason, just so you all know, Jason is going to be a guest on the Al Nicoletti Show on September 14th. And he's going to talk all about the things that he gets into with his live events and the 2-day blueprint and a lot of the things that courses don't even get into. He dives deep on funding and all the title crazy things that come up. But what Jason's really pointing out is, you can go through that whole thing. Oh, contract, we're under contract. That's great. Oh, we got funding. That's great. It all eventually though funnels to the end point, which is title. And if you don't have that all set, and also finding a good title company that works through things, calls the sellers, calls the heirs, finds out things that need to be done, whether it's probate or there needs to be a payoff or lien reductions, or is there an IRS lien, and finding out all of that stuff. That is a huge component to this. And that's why I love what they're doing with the whole marketplace with this feature. I mean, that's everything. That's everything right there. Knowing what's happening and what's going on. I mean, we've gone through everything that this is like. It's a global real estate platform, unlimited members. I mean, unlimited people can come into this and grow it. And it's just amazing tool. Is there anything we missed on it that's like a cutting edge, that's new and upcoming, things that you guys are, I can tell just by talking to you, Jason, that you and Mark must have those meetings and writing things down about like, wait, we didn't talk about this. We didn't contemplate this. Is like, this is important, right?
Yeah, correct. So a lot of it's been centered around, obviously the main component is connecting people that wouldn't have been connected, so everybody can do more transactions and make it streamlined and like an off-market MLS. But some of the little things that don't let deals get to the finish line are all the options that you'll see when you're on the platform. Where as a seller, you could say, this, I'm offering that. Here's the time frame that you need to make a decision by. All those things that get people to sit and like analyze a deal, we've solved with the click of a button. So I think everybody's really going to enjoy that. So imagine just looking at something and intrinsically knowing what it's offered at, this. Hey, you got this amount of time. Like all those things where you would normally go back and forth are streamlined right in front of your eyes for you to make a quick decision. And then just the ease of use, being able to, with your finger, sign a document and it's already in title. If you're listening to this, watching this, I'm willing to bet that's never happened on a transaction you've ever done, where you just simply sign it, it's accepted, and it's already at title. Like, are you kidding me?
I've never seen that. I mean, that's the first time I've seen that when reading those notes right there. I mean, that's huge. That's instantaneous right there. I mean, everybody wants to have that happen. Mike, if you could pull that up, because Mark made a really good point about that. He said online payment of EMD money on the platform. That's another big thing that'll be there. So that's going to be huge. EMD money payment. So yeah, Jason, Mark, I mean, huge stuff when it comes to all of this in the marketplace. And I love that you guys are working on it together. It was a nice surprise when I'm talking to Mark today. He's like, Jason Palliser, he's a real part of this right now. I'm like, wow, like the power of you two coming together and bringing on all these big people. And, I've heard the discussion where things are going. It's huge. Love it. Jason, tell everybody what you're doing also in your world when it comes to your live events and teaching investors and the 2-day blueprint. I've seen so many great comments and stories from people that have attended your events that are huge, that are learning all these details. And I love how you were explaining it behind the stage of you got to do this and hold yourself accountable for making these actions, because you're the only one that's looking at you at the end of the day. Tell everybody the 2-day blueprint, give it the plug.
Yeah. So, like you said, we'll be on in September and we'll talk about it on a deeper level. But what we started doing 6 years ago, so, been speaking for 20 something years, for some TV show brands, Robert Kiyosaki, this and that. Was part of REI Black Book real estate automation software, sold that company to my partner at the time. And working with larger companies that need 30, 40, 50 homes a month. So I always tell everybody, look, most people do the same 5 things. They've been told by YouTube channels, podcasts like this, and in the real estate investment space, hey, get a list, send some text, do some direct mail, do some voicemails, cold call, and all that stuff's fine and you close deals. But so the 2-day blueprint is centered around, let us show you 34 ways we grab off-market properties. I always tell everybody, if you're listening now or you hear this, put a timer on your phone right now, give it 30 seconds, and name to yourself how many ways you know right now to get an off-market property. Well, when we get hired to average 30 or 40, 50 homes in a calendar month, I can't miss a single deal. So on a necessity, over the years, we've found 34 ways we grab off-market property. So what we do is we put that in place. There's no notes to take. It's built at an enterprise level, full-blown marketing portal, all the way down to doing direct mail for free. If you do it the way that we teach, it took me 11 years to figure that one out. So anybody hearing this, just that one technique alone, your phone will ring off the hook. You can be in 30,000 mailboxes. Doesn't matter if you're in Baltimore, Sacramento, California. Imagine the biggest player in your city that does a lot of direct mail, and they go, normal investors won't spend 12 grand a month. Well, what if you don't have to, and you can be in 30,000 mailboxes just like them, right? So we put in place 34 ways to grab off-market properties. 18 of those ways that we grab contracts are free. So they don't cost. So you can do this without a budget. So that's what we do. So on day one, we put the infrastructure in place. We create the marketing portal. And quite frankly, half of the sandboxes we teach you to play in, no investor that you've spoke to or that you've networked with even knows to do it. So you'll play in sandboxes with no competition. And that's all built. Every individual one. If I say to go to this website in your portal, the link's there. You don't even have to type in the web. Hey, go here. We grab deals off of here. We do this, copy this, paste that. So how we get deals off of Facebook for free. How we don't have to pay 5 to 10 grand a month for Google ads for Sell My House Fast, which is the most valuable place in the online universe to be, which is on Google when somebody types in your city, Sell My House Fast Sacramento, Sell My House Fast Dallas. Are you there? Are you not there? We can show you how to get there for free, right? So we do full-blown market takeovers and to show people how to wake up predictably and get to 5 to 10 contracts a month. And so we'll talk about that when we do your show later. I'll even give you some of the tax techniques that we do. It's one of my favorite sandboxes to play in. And we swing a heavy bat.
Yeah, yeah. You cut right through it and you get right to the whole point of like, do you want the leads? Do you want to get these deals? Like this is like how you get down in it. You're not fluff or anything else. You want to show people this is what the reality is. This is how you get these deals per month. And this is the reality. You're looking at dealing with things on title. I've been through this before. This is the
Yep.
kind of stuff I'm looking at with funding. I've been through that before.
Yep.
You're really going through all the grunt stuff that you had to go through before and diving in. And I think that's invaluable. I've heard people say they went in and they come out and it was just over and above. So we'll definitely dive in on that. But I wanted everybody to hear that, Jason, because
Sure, yeah.
I think it's important to hear the level and the caliber of this duo right here between Mark and Jason. Like, Jason, you've been doing it over 20 years. Mark, you've been over 20 years. I mean, it's huge that you guys have been in this industry, and this is the kind of level that we're dealing with right now. These are big people in the real estate industry. And Mark, you let me know how far I can go with who's a part of it. You just keep dropping it in the chat box. I just want everybody to know that people that are a part of this, big names, include Tim Mai, John Alexander. I mean, big people that are in the industry. And Jason Palliser, huge name in the industry, and Mark Kole. I mean, this is going to be a huge marketplace. So, guys, I mean, I love that both of you are on. Mark, I tell people, if you go back to a couple of shows, Mike and I have been through so many things when it comes to running a show. People have no idea. We run through audio and visual. You look like a stud on camera right now, just sitting there enjoying yourself. I know. You wish you were on. I saw that.
Isn't that what the Grand Poobah does? They just sit back and listen while everybody else talks about them.
There you go. Just sit back, Mark. You're good.
Yeah. I'm surprised he doesn't have on a smoking jacket and just
get the cigar out. You're good.
Yeah.
Get the cigar out already. But I love that you're on. I mean, everybody knows who you are, and Jason, everybody knows who you are. So I love that you were able to come on with Mark today. Huge surprise. Super happy. And I can't wait to have you as the guest on September 14th. That's going to be huge. Mark, I would ask, if there are any final words, final thoughts, if you want to give sign language or thumbs up or, definitely, this is huge. We've put up the chyrons, right? Is there any other links or any other thing, Facebook groups that you guys have put together that'll connect us? Not yet. Is it in the works?
Yeah. We'll get some of that stuff going. We just want everybody to go directly to the app and get signed up, so that once we start flooding the properties and the buyers and putting everybody together, that you're already signed up, you already have your profile. So a smart move, if you're hearing this now or hearing it later, is to get in there and set up a profile. And like I said before, imagine walking around your marketplace and telling other people about it. Depending on the level of following you have, we'll even let you create your own marketplace. And so everybody that you refer in there always sees you and your company and your business. What happens is naturally people start floating to you, and it'll end up helping you close more business. And when you're out in the marketplace talking to sellers, you're back, yeah, look here, you can go to my marketplace. I've got lots of properties, so you can feel confident that when we work together, we'll get a deal to the finish line. So there's tons of things that'll benefit you when we do that. And we're here to help you succeed, make money, make it easy, get you in one of the most critical pieces, like intrinsically involved on the title piece of it. And again, like you said earlier, we talked about, and my banker background is that we're also talking to people about putting a funding component in there, because from time to time, the title company throws you a curveball and says, hey, if you're looking to unload this property, we still want you to fund it for 1 second. And so we want to have those measures in place to make sure that the transaction doesn't stop on its way to the finish line.
Huge stuff. And Mark chimed in there in the chat. He said, free to list and sell property deals, free account. So, I mean, everybody loves that 4-letter word, right? Free. So that's going to attract people. Jason, when is the official launch? Like, when is it officially out?
Well, you're not going to be the first to announce it live, because we're meeting on Friday, and we're kind of working out those details. I would tell you that soon. We're testing transactions through it right now, and so very, very soon. So get in it. A smart move as an investor and as a CEO of anybody's businesses, just at least get in there and set up your profile. Right.
Got it. So it's coming soon. It's on the verge. It's coming. It's going to be rolled out. So it's going to be huge. Mark even said 100% transactional funding built in. So awesome stuff. Like I said, Mark, I was reading the notes and I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And all this, the added value that Jason's been giving and all the integrations that it comes with is huge. So can't wait to see it. I can't wait for the official launch. I can't wait to see the Facebook group. I can't wait to see it all on Instagram and Facebook. And guys, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. I love talking to you, Mark. Love talking to you, Jason. I love seeing what both of you are doing in the industry with software and teaching and education. Huge stuff. So if you all are watching, you got to connect with these two. Huge in the real estate space, very well connected, and it's all about relationship building and networking. And that's what these two have done their whole career, and that's why they keep elevating into higher new heights in their business. So, guys, it was a pleasure. Again, Jason, huge surprise. Love seeing you, Mark. You're the man. You're doing amazing things with everything. So, love seeing you. And it's a wrap for tonight. So. Guys, awesome stuff.
See you, everybody. See you on the platform.
All right. Take care, guys. Wow. So, let's do a little recap before we all hop off for the end of the night. This is a huge opportunity that's coming in the whole real estate space for any type of connecting when it comes to deal making. The big thing that stuck out to me was the fast, efficient, streamlined method that this is going to build in when it comes to doing deals. And also, I love all the little integrations for verifying and credibility, the dependability rating when it comes to buyers or sellers that are doing this stuff. It's going to be huge. And the fact that it's free for everyone to join, I know Mark loves that. The point is that you want everybody to come in, everybody to be a part of this huge marketplace. I haven't had anybody on that talks about this, and the fact that Mark and Jason are doing this together, that they're blowing this whole thing up and really rolling it out with some big names and big industries that are out there. When they roll it out, they'll tell everybody. But it's huge. From everything from it's a global thing to you add unlimited members and the automated offer and acceptance, the contracting, the digital document signing, the instantaneous, hey, we want to buy, click I accept, and then the wire goes through, and then even when you're ready, it goes to title. That's really big. Their hope is to be the goal is to be build the largest global marketplace. I love once Mark found the chat box, he was all in. I love it. I love that thing right there. So if you didn't get to check it out, you got to start from the beginning and go through everything, because Jason really laid out what's going on with the insight in the industry and some of the things that they're thinking about behind the scenes when it comes to the dependability, the rating, and all that. So check that out. And you got to love the live title company updates. I love that thing. I can't wait to see it. Like, I need to see it now. I need to see this thing now. Can we integrate it for all the probates that I got going on that I'm waiting on payment? That'd be huge. So that's big stuff. We all want to know what's going on in our deals, because we all know it always ends at the title company and the closing. So huge stuff. You want to connect with them. Check out the beginning of the episode. It'll be live on iTunes, Spotify. No idea what happened with Facebook tonight. I don't even want to know, because it was an amazing episode. We'll make sure we post the link out there. The YouTube, it's live on YouTube right now. So love that you all are sticking around. It's amazing. Make sure you check it out. And if you want more content like this, make sure you check out the YouTube channel under Al Nicoletti, the Facebook profile, the personal page, the Instagram @Attorney Nicoletti, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, all the platforms out there. And I love all of you fans out there that are watching. If you got any comments, because probably most of you are watching it on YouTube right now, drop a comment below. See if Jason or Mark are able to see what the question is, or maybe it's an idea, a suggestion. You never know. People see things differently in this world, that maybe they're adding value to what's to come in this marketplace. But it's going to be huge. You got to check it out. You can't miss it. And it's a wrap on the show, everybody. And another Wednesday night. We're about to be in August. Can everybody believe we're about to be in August? I can't believe that, right? It's the years flying, and it feels like tonight was the second part of season 3. July feels like it went by, and we had the best of, and we had Glenn Guzman and the Ryla Dana episode, which is crazy. But now we're on to part 2 of season 3. So many amazing guests coming up, and I got my guy George Salas, the Airbnb king, that's coming up next week. It's going to be huge. So don't miss it. Check it out. It's a wrap. I'll see you all next week. Have a great night.